Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody is well today. Sorry for being a bit late. I have a lot going on today, and there's just life. So let's just say that. Also, my coffee is in the other room. The lighting is different in the daytime, so I had to fiddle with the lighting, and now my coffee's in the other room. It's not even made properly yet. That's a problem we're going to have to fix shortly. But before we get going, I would love to hear about your weekend. How's it going? We have 2 shows today. 2 shows. Well, I have about 4 shows that I'm going to be doing, but a few of them are private. But, hello, Moonfox. Oh, I'm so glad to see that you tried one of my recipes. KCC. Do. Thank you so much. Look at Valerie got a membership. That's so exciting. Thank you, Casey Carey. Was it the pasta salad one? It was very good. Delightful. Good news, coming back at you again next week with more recipes. So get ready for that. I have a tandoori chicken wrap on the works, as well as a few other ones. So I'm excited. I love trying new recipes. I love trying new things. And as you guys know, the main thing for me is the price and how easy it is, and can I do it while I'm live. That's not everybody's threshold, but that's my threshold. I don't like how my shirt's disappearing. Sally, it looks yummy. It is from a short that I saw. And I'm excited about it. It's on the agenda. Also, I have to go to the gym today and do a workout in a little bit. And we have members only. Members only is already scheduled for in an hour from now, which means we have to get going on what I was attempting to download that has been taking forever for some reason. Oh, 3 minutes left, it says. We can talk for 3 minutes. Oh, we can talk for 3 minutes. Of course we can. So in case you weren't here last week, 2 weeks ago we started doing baking for the most part. Then last week we transitioned into some more savory recipes, and then this coming week, who knows exactly what it will be. But I love cooking in the morning with you guys. I am gonna put this, so we're gonna be watching Judge Manning today. It's not some crazy old TPO hearing, although I love those and I wish we were, but I thought we should pay some homage to Judge Manning because she works hard every single day, and I appreciate her. Oh, hold on now. Hold the phone. Hold on. You should just let this one finish. I realized I downloaded a video the other day of Judge Manning because she was wearing an eye patch, and I was just like, why is Judge Manning wearing an eye patch? I gotta download this. And then we didn't watch it, but I probably still have that one. But when I went and I thought about it today, I thought we could do that, but then I also thought that's not very nice. Maybe I think it's a medical eye patch. It's not a pirate eye patch for shits and giggles. It's a medical eye patch. So perhaps it wouldn't be as nice to bring that one up. I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for it. Also, here is the a taste of what we're going to be doing at members only. I know this doesn't actually checking in from your deathbed. That's not good, Mikey. Are you okay? Are you preemptively reacting to my announcement that we're going to be reviewing the annual report from a court for members only today? It's okay. We heard you. Are you seriously okay, though? We are... Lisa. That is not what I have planned for members only. Okay? I hope somebody's taking care of you if you are indeed... I believe you're sick. I hope somebody's taking care of you. Do you need anything? I'm sure we could rustle up whatever you need via all of us. Vis-a-vis. If you need somebody to speak broken French to you, I'm here. I can do that. Un petit. You missed the chiz talk, and that made you sad? Actually, for once in my life, I don't think that I was the instigator of this jizz talk. Shocking, I know. Lisa, you've got a sinus infection and pneumonia. Almost over it. Welcome to Jizz Talk with Paisley and Mikey. Jizz Talk. Speaking of Jizz Talk, never mind. That's inappropriate. Do you... I hope you will feel better, Mikey. Now everyone's making all of these jizz comments in the chat. I'm laughing. And I'm getting messages, and I swear to God. Oh, I'm annoyed. And has this downloaded yet? Oh, finally. As we talk jizz, it downloaded. Please work. Please have worked. Please have worked.
Everybody on the...
Worked. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. So I can go make my fucking... coffee, grab my cell phone, respond to this ridiculous text, and let's get going.
The list to remove them.
Good afternoon, Judge Madden.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to inform you whenever you're ready to start, if we can start it at ACDC, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. Just gotta get me a prosecutor on here. Hold on, let's see.
I do not mind standing in and making recommendations on behalf of the state.
Oh, well, see, look how nice that is.
Like to do what I can.
Let's see.
Malcolm.
Let's see. Let me see. Let's see. Well, I had Mr. Malcolm's number. Text Mr. White anyway. So let's see. Maybe he'll jump on. Yeah, because I don't think we can move the breakout room.
The cob.
Yeah. I think that's one we can't control.
I think they usually call on a cell phone or something.
Yeah, surely they got a phone back there where he can call.
Well, you say for David Kenny?
Your Honor, I'm checking with the deputy now in Cobb County.
Is there a number there that Mr. Brown can call to speak with his client?
Is there a number over there?
Well, no, it'll call over here. I don't think he'll call over here if I give it, if I leave myself number.
Okay.
Well, what about Mr. Brown put his cell number in the chat to you, LT? And then you can mute yourself and maybe he can call for, maybe he can do that if he doesn't mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's not a phone down there? That's crazy.
And that's our phone in the area there. The attorney needs to talk with him
Okay,
real
so,
quick.
yeah, I mean, that's not a problem. Just go ahead and give the attorney my cell number. He can call me on the cell.
Okay, are you ready, sir?
I am, thank you.
I'd probably put it in the chat.
Have these fuckers just been discussing getting going while I made my coffee? Mikey, I'm so sorry to hear that. That does not sound fun. I really do hope you're being taken care of. Also, the AC/DC thing, I heard that. I wanted to come back on and be like, I wish I could do songs, but I can't. But I would have played an AC/DC song. Also, my coffee, I only have a small cup and it's making me really sad, but I should just be thankful for what I have instead of being sad. Also, I got my cell phone, so now I'm feeling a lot better. It's incredible. My phone was just in the other room charging, and I felt alone without it. Anyways, Judge, shall we continue? Have you had a coffee today?
Chat, Miss Walker. So
Okay. And how do I do that?
well, Mr. Brown could
Oh.
probably, yeah, see it and then just send it to.
Oh, put it in chat. Okay. All right. Let me see. I type it. All right.
All right, so I got Miss Lewis. Do you have Mr. Malkin's number? Thought I did.
No, Judge, I just had Mr. White's number,
Yeah, I just text him.
and I've had it a long time, so I don't even know if it's the same number.
I've had the same
How about,
phone number for like 20 years. 20.
Mr. Jenkins, do you have his number?
Yeah, I'm gonna text him real quick. Let's see.
Okay.
Electric bills are set up.
Everybody take up a collection for Bostic for her power bill.
Oh, we're doing a collection for
All right,
Boston's
so
power bill?
we got Jannard Kirksey. It's 24. Wait a minute, is Miss Strong here? No, Miss Strong's not here. Anybody covering for Miss Strong?
Your Honor, Ms. Strong is no longer with our office, and I'm pulling up the case now. I don't see who is representing him. If maybe we could get this case, because it's not, I'm covering Ms. Beck's cases. And then if this is not Mr. Showalter's case, then I do not know whose it is. If we could possibly maybe get this case reset for Tuesday so that we can figure it out, because I don't have any of his information, so I can't.
I think he was reset for the same reason the other day, was that?
Yeah. So Mr. Kirksey, just give me a thumbs up or nod your head. Have you already posted bond through second chance? Yeah. Do you have another charge? Let me see. I know it's hard because you're on mute. Let me see. Is there another charge, Bostic, that's holding him in?
I'm looking.
You know that for the court, I have a proposal.
It looks like there's a
Ma'am,
Clayton County hold.
You need to shut up, okay? You don't seem to know what you're talking about here. Clayton County is contiguous to Fulton County, thank you, but I'll speak now. Don't you think that the courts that use Zoom for court, they could add a feature where you can unmute the person as the host? I don't understand. Like, the reality of like having these people at their court hearings not being able to speak when spoken to is ridiculous to me. Like, I know why. They can't touch the computers there. They can't be accessing the electronics. But that you can't tell me that you couldn't make it happen on this end. And you know what? Zoom could sell it to them as a feature and charge a lot more money. All right, now you can talk, lady.
Your Honor.
Oh, so that's why you probably can't. Does that look like what it is, sir? Clayton County hold? Oh wait, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
And
You're on mute.
and there's a probation violation.
Okay, yeah, isn't this one we did the other day for this? Yeah.
Looks like he got to do 6 months.
Oh, so he's gonna do 6 months. So
And there's a hold from Clayton County. So, I guess after the 6 months, but Clayton County has 72 hours. What's on his booking, all that's holding him is the hold in the 6 months on a probation violation.
And it looks like he went through second chance unless they came off of it.
That part is not on his booking anymore on the face. So when you go to his booking now, the only two things that's now that looks like because once you pay your bond and all this stuff, so now what's on the face of his booking is just the hold and the probation violation.
Yeah, all right. So he has made this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where'd she go? Well, oh yeah, all right. So Miss Browning, if you find out, email me and Mr. Dukes and let us know if you find out something different, okay?
All right, will do.
So she'll get somebody to reach out to you, okay? And she'll email us and let us know if we need to put you back on next week. All right, thank you, sir. Let's see who we got. ECDC. I got Duana Fletcher.
Good
Fletcher.
afternoon, Your Honor.
How you doing? All right, this is Mr. Showalters. It's 24 PI 003 383 144 days with no indictment. $9,000 good bond as of August the 13th. Kidnapping and theft by taking felony. Wow.
Oh, I squealed. I squealed upon hearing it. I knew it was coming logically, but I forgot about it. I fucking love it every time I hear it. Let's hear it again. But did they just say kidnapping? That's not good. That's not good. But I would like to hear Judge Manning say pre-trial once more. I can't even do it. She does it so well.
$9,000 good bond as of August the 13th. Kidnapping and theft by taking felony. Wow.
Which person did you say? I'm sorry.
Duana Fletcher.
Oh. 9 cycles, FTA in 23 and 19 on probation for possession of meth, sentence and 22, 40 days confinement, 2 years, 10 months, October of 22. So that should be about to end probably next month. No, one more year, 2 years, 10 months, 20 days. So she has a whole nother year. Nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Showalter.
Duana Fletcher is.
Hey, thank you so much, NPC. You guys are so kind. And as a reminder, members only is coming up right today. That's why we can't stop the video. Paisley, keep playing.
Oh, looks like today is her birthday. 24
Happy
years
birthday.
old now.
Oh, well, we have to stop for that. Happy birthday, Mrs. Kidnapper. Happy birthday to you. That's terrible.
Now, her address is 2001 That is an address with her mother. She is an Atlanta native. She was previously working at Publix. When she wants to get out and go back to school, get new work. She was looking at working at Grady. She heard that there was a job opening there. She wants to get whatever treatment that she can get, as well as finding good work there at Grady or other places. She has 2 children. The subject of this, I want to emphasize that while it is a kidnapping charge, there's no allegations of violence. This isn't one of those types of cases. This is more where the state is saying she took her biological children when she was not to. We have our own defense for that, but just make it clear this isn't something too violent or scary. There's no violence at all in this one. We have a message from the complainant, Ingrid Tyre. She says, I do not wish to have Dewana Fletcher prosecuted for auto theft and kidnapping of her own then custodial kids. I completely forgive her allegedly offending the law of any manner of accusation involved in this case. I pray that the courts will show complete mercy on her and bless her with the immediate opportunity of release without hesitation and without any monetary consequences. She has 2 adorable babies that deserve to be restored with their loving mother's presence and affectionate support. Dewana is indeed a young and new mother who deserves a chance to prove herself as a restored, law-abiding citizen. I hope that the courts would consider her worthy of the rights to be returned to society for that chance. I, Ingrid Tyre, sincerely do not wish to proceed with any proceedings of this case. I pray that the courts would consider dismissal.
NPC, thank you. You're so sweet. That is so awesome. That's quite the letter. It's all hearsay, though. It's complete hearsay, Mr. Lawyer. If it's not an affidavit signed under the penalty of perjury, it is hearsay. And I dare say, I don't know. Judge Manning is a pretty, I don't know. I haven't watched her in a while. Let's see what happens. Also, ma'am, Publix has really good chicken. I'll say that. I remember that.
This matter completely. So she's at a total of a $9,000 bond right now. I'm asking the court to lower that to something more within her means. I think a $2,000 on kidnapping and $500 on theft by taking is appropriate, Your Honor.
Mr. Showalter, is there a defects thing in place? Is that why she didn't have her children?
The defects case was is currently closed. I believe that I'm trying to understand kind of the process. There was a lot of moving parts on this, but my notes are that the defects case is closed. There was something about a custody case plan that was in place at the time. I tried to get a copy of it, and she has a copy of it there, but when I tried to get one, they said their supervisor wouldn't allow me to have it for some reason to read it. It was a safety plan, and that was the subject of this case where they were saying like the aunt was supposed to have it, she wasn't. And
I got you. So she had a safety plan and allegedly violated the safety plan.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. White.
Judge, that is correct. This is a violation of a defect safety plan where this defendant took her 2 biological children without authorization. That in no way, I mean, it's kidnapping. It meets every definition of kidnapping. And the fact.
Is that the same Tom Wright? No, this is not an older hearing. This is a newer hearing. And this guy used to look different. Did he lose a lot of weight or something? I used to make jokes. I was like, Mr. Wright is Mr. Wrong. Judge Manning, while it looks like she's remote, she actually operates from in the courtroom because she speaks with her assistant in there quite a bit. And people come into her office sometimes. At night court, it's different. It's in the, I think she appears via the internet for that. Yeah, but they're at their office and they zoom in from their office. So like the way you can always tell is when people are interrupted. Like Judge Manning will be interrupted sometimes. Also the type of phone, like she has a desk phone, like in one of those, what are they called? I can't think of it. I looked at fucking those phones forever. I hate them. You all know what I'm talking about with the multiple lines. Not a landline. I'm talking about an office work phone that is gray, that has, it's a brand. It's not a VoIP. It's like, you know, every fucking office has them. Yes, a Cisco phone. There it is. A Cisco phone. A Cisco phone. Every office has them. And at least here in Canada, every office has Cisco phones. They're all gray. I know how to run a switchboard. I've run a switchboard before, but the average desk line has that gray phone that you pick up and it's got the little bit to the side. Anyways, whose sisters passed? Manning? Or somebody else? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Oh, I have such a busy day, Paisley. You have to keep going. We have to keep going.
That she did not actually use violence against the parent that, or the person that had been granted custody of the children, is at least saves her from a mandatory life sentence. But she's still looking at a significant period of time. Judge, it's only been 50 days since her bond order. Um, there really is nothing in either statute or in decisional law that I've been able to find that grants anyone reconsideration without some sort of presumption of legal prejudice. And the first time, the earliest that presumption attaches is a year after bond has been granted.
So the thing, I actually find this case interesting. First of all, how do I word this? DCFS cases, which is the Department of Children and Family Services. They are called different things in different jurisdictions. They can be called CPS. They can be called DFACS. They can be called many things. They go by different names, but they are all the same mandate, I would say, which is to protect children. And I've talked about the Canadian system before having certain people that are overrepresented in the system, and I don't doubt that it's the same in America in certain areas. And while I understand that, I don't know. It's a very tough case. If they've dismissed the case already, I would be very interested to know why they dismissed that case and closed it already. If it's because she's in jail now, ostensibly for years to come, then that's a different story. But if they investigated and found that there wasn't any reason to believe that there was an issue, and then they closed the case, and just in the middle of that, she went and got her children, which again, you can't do, but those are very different scenarios. It's concerning to me that the prosecutor just said, well, we don't really need to think about this until she's been in jail, incarcerated in jail, pre-trial. Remember when Judge said it? You see how she says it so emphatically? It's important. Okay? These are pre-trial cases, which means they're not convicted, they are not guilty. And so, again, why we are locking, this is a non-violent crime in its sense. And if they have not got a case open again, I'm wondering why the prosecutor thinks, oh, well, let's leave her in jail for a fucking year until we deal with it. Again, I am not about, I've watched I've watched CPS cases all across America in different parts of the cases. I spent a lot of time during the pandemic watching CPS cases in Texas specifically, and I just know those cases are long and drawn out. It's just concerning. They're all intermingled, and then yet we've got the prosecutor who's not involved in the case about the children. But does he have access to that file? Why can't the lawyers have access to these files? This is what I also don't understand. They're officers of the court. Maybe Justin just didn't pull his weight and say, like, yeah, no, bitch, I'm a fucking lawyer.
We're barely over, 1/12 of that period of time, and we're already reconsidering what is, given the charges, a very, very charitable, in fact, nearly nominal bond. Judge, the state is opposed to any reduction in the bond. Frankly, the state is questioning why it is that after only 50 days, the bond is being reconsidered at all, giving the standing orders of the court at this time. The state is opposed to any modification of the bond conditions, nothing further.
All right, no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no replicas of weapons. Stay away from 3400 Creek Point Drive. That's the Courtyard by Marriott. Any contact with the minor children will be governed by a juvenile court order. So sometimes they may close the defects case, but there'll still be a juvenile case. So defects or juvenile court will govern any visitation or any contact with the children. So no further contact with Sophia Baker, Victoria Fletcher, BB Griffiths, Griffis, and Ingrid Tyler, Ingrid Tyler. So I'll do 7,000 and then 500. Best of luck to you, ma'am. You can leave the booth. Let's see. Now do I have Timothy Haynes? All right. Timothy Haynes. We got 199 days without indictment. Position 5, 24 PI 001949. Right now, there is a $4,000 good bond as of March the 20th, 2024. Theft by taking and 2 counts of felony transaction card financial transaction card fraud. Wow.
32 cycles, 7 FTAs going back to 01. Most recent is 2019. There's a forgery in the first 10 counts, an 04 burglary, theft by receiving possession of ID by another in 2011, financial transaction, and in 2011 burglary, theft by taking 2016 financial transaction card, theft in 2016 and 2019, 3 probation violations, open case, 22 CP 214966, financial transaction card theft, 3 counts, identity theft, fraud, nothing further.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Browning.
Right, Your Honor, and I did email you and your staff just shortly before when I realized that only one of his cases is on the calendar today. So I'm hoping that we could address bond for the other case as well. It's the same case number, just ending in 50 instead of 49. I filed both of the motions at the same time, so I don't know why it's not here. But to Mr. Haynes's bond factors, Your Honor, as you said, he has been in custody for 199 days. He's lived in this area for about 20 years. He is a high school graduate. He celebrated his 53rd birthday 2 weeks ago. He is residentially challenged and has resided for the last 2 years at ARC, Atlanta Recovery Center over on Pryor Street. He has been struggling with some age and physical disabilities that have prevented him from obtaining stable work. He has, prior to be taken into custody, Your Honor, he spent months trying to get a hearing to get Social Security. He finally got a date set, which was June 1st. However, he was unable to attend that hearing. And
how is she getting vocal fry throughout her whole sentence is what I want to know. She's literally growling through her sentences. I don't understand it. Barrett. Wow. Barrett. It's not often a Paisley comes across a name that is less common than mine. You think it's Berit? No, I think it's Barrett. She's American.
Advocate for assistance due to the fact that he was in custody and has been for the last 199 days. He has been accepted, within last month, he was accepted into the Hope House, where he will be provided with numerous resources, a place to stay, and any treatment for anything he may need. So we are asking, Your Honor, that you take into account the limitations in his resources, the fact that he has not been able to get his SSI set up because he was in custody. We're asking that you take into account his lack of any history of violence and reduce his bond to an amount that we will be able to go through the bail project and have him released to the Hope House. And we are asking that any release order does require he be released with 30 days of medication. And so we are asking that his bond, if you are considering both cases, we're asking that they don't in the aggregate exceed $5,000. But if you're only considering this case, then we're asking that bond does not exceed $2,000. Thank
All
you.
right. So Mr. Duke said we could put the other one on next Thursday. Is that okay?
Yes, I will not be here, Your Honor, but I'll have someone cover for me.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. White.
This defendant's picking up cases faster than we can indict them or resolve them. He does have an open case in non-complex.
Mr. Wright, if you had a clear record in your department for indicting people quickly, you could make that statement. You fucking don't, okay? You have people hundreds of days unindicted on serious crimes. You don't get to say shit like that. You don't indict fast enough. Get with the fucking program. It's all over the news. That's the whole reason Judge Manning does the amount of court hearings that she does. She's doing these reconsiderations because there are so many people pre-trial. Oh, I'm recalling now why he used to piss me off and I used to call him Mr. Wrong.
24 SC 002172. The state would note that this defendant, in addition to, hang on just a second.
Get your shit together, Tom.
Touched my computer again, and in addition to his Georgia record, he also has a record in Pennsylvania with at least 2 cycles. He has at least 7 aliases, having used at least it looks like maybe 3 different dates of birth, and looks like multiple social security numbers. Judge, the fact that he has 3 open cases, 1 indicted, these 2 unindicted, that he has no fewer than 5 felony convictions in Georgia. He also has a record in Pennsylvania. He is currently on probation for at least 1 case with multiple FTAs and multiple probation violations. He's not a good risk for bond under any circumstances. And the fact that he does have a bond and that it's only been, what is that? Looks
His
like
was
less.
in March.
Hmm?
His bond was in March,
With March. So what are we?
October 3rd.
I mean, Judge, we're still much less than a year before his last bond was set. And, he's continuing to pick up new cases. At this time, Judge, the state is opposed to any reduction in his bond. At this point, it would be much more appropriate, in fact, for his bond to be increased by at least tenfold. just in order to protect the to protect the good citizens of Fulton County from what has been a 35-year crime wave. Nothing further.
And
All right.
Your Honor,
A 35-year crime wave? Sir, Mr. Wright, a tenfold increase? Judge Manning don't like you, in my opinion. I hope she lowers it. Just like a little to Mr. Wright.
I
Mhm.
would just like to reiterate that none of his allegations, or the allegations against him or his history have anything to do with violence. He has MH that it is a struggle when you are of limited means to deal with. We now have a place for him to go. Things have changed since he came into custody in that we have a place for him to go. We have a treatment plan set up, and he will be able to get help to avoid any type of or to avoid a high chance of reoffending. Nothing is going to change while he's in there. He's not gonna get the treatment he needs, Your Honor, and being in custody does not help anyone. We do not believe he is a serious risk, and I think that if the state were so concerned about his him being a danger to society, then they would have indicted him. Tomorrow will be 200 days that he's been in custody. So thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no replicas of weapons. Must supply an address where you'll be living upon release. No further contact with Blake Howell, Howe, or Blake Garrett, Garrett. Stay away from 6690 Roswell Road and 6615 Roswell Road and 7525 Roswell Road. So I'll do 500, 1,000, and 1,000. We'll get the other one on next week. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so let's see. Are you David Kenny? Nod your head if you're David Kenny. Okay, let's see. Now, then are you, where'd it go? Not David Kenny. So are you Isaac Brinson? All right, gotcha. All right, let's see, Miss Browning, it's 24 PI 003 586 136 days without indictment. $75,500 good bond.
Wait, Your Honor, I believe it's 40,500.
I think it is. I was just trying to do the math now that.
Okay, it was, I believe that was what it was initially.
Right. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see which ones have been dismissed. Let me make sure I get the ones that have been dismissed.
There were just duplicates, I believe, that were dismissed, Your Honor.
Let's see. 35. No, it's 75,500.
Ooh, then it did not update after we had our last hearing.
Yeah, because I've got count 7's dismissed, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 14. 'Cause right now I've got,
Now, on his booking page, it says 40,500.
all right. Did the trafficking and heroin, both of those get dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it was still on here. It
Oh,
doesn't-
no.
All right, so I got possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, drugs not in original container, possession of Schedule 3, 4, or 5 with intent to distribute, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of MDMA. So I got allegedly 6.8 grams of weed, 1.6 grams of crack, and 5.7 grams of MDMA. Wow.
That's all personal use except for the MDMA. And I would like to know the purity levels. For a friend.
In regards to Mr. Wilson, 6 arrests in Florida, 13 in Georgia, FTA in 2022, disorderly conduct, giving false name, failure to obey in 21, misdemeanor obstruction in 23, open case in DeKalb for cocaine and misdemeanor possession, 331-24, robbery first offender in 2015. And then, like you said, all those cases were dismissed. There's nothing further.
All right, go ahead, Ms. Browning, and will he live in Fulton County?
Your Honor, he will live in Fulton County.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so Mr. Brinson is 28 years old. He has lived locally for the last 10 to 11 years. His family is here, including his extended family. That would be, uncles, aunts, cousins, and his two daughters, ages 4 and 5, and his partner. They will reside on Northside Drive, and he has lived at that address on Northside Drive for the last year and a half. He was working before being taken into custody as a chef at Yush Cafe. It's a Caribbean food, and he had been working there for the last 6 to 7 years. He graduated.
I would love to pick his ear because I am trying to replicate a potato roti wrap that I used to get from a Caribbean restaurant around here that I just remembered. And yeah. If anybody has any ideas. It was like a yellow potato curry with roti that it was wrapped in. Oh, it was so delicious. I'll try and look up what was that restaurant called?
College with his bachelor's degree in audio engineering at the Art Institute of Atlanta in Dunwoody. And his only conviction was a first offender, not drug related. I still struggle with why he was charged in this case. There is the only person who's described in the body of the warrants, Your Honor, who was charged with all of those allegations and the ones that were dismissed against my client. That person was arrested at the time, not my client. That person took a plea in that case, and that case is closed, Your Honor. My client disputes the allegations. He was watching his friend's bag while his friend went in to do something. He handed the friend his bag and left. Your Honor, my client did not know the contents of the bag. The other person accepted responsibility, and that case is closed. Your Honor, he has been in custody now for, I think it's 136 days with a very large bond. He has no chance of making that. We're asking that bond be reduced significantly. He did not have possession of a weapon. These drugs, none of this was his, Your Honor. And I know that is something that we will be able to establish at trial, but we would ask that the fact that someone has already taken a plea and that's the person who's named in the warrants, we ask that you take that into account, and his lack of significant criminal history. We're asking that his bond does not exceed $6,000 so we can try to make arrangements to help him get out of custody, as it has been a significant amount of time. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. White.
Contrary to what my learned colleague has just represented before the case, this hasn't been a significant amount of time. In fact, it's been less than 1/10 of the amount of time the state has to indict a case once an individual has bond. It's in fact.
And your penis is probably 1/10 the size that you tell people that it is, Tom, but we're not quibbling about those 1/10 in reality, and neither should you. It's not a good argument to stand on. It really isn't. It's just terrible. So, I don't care to hear it. Shut your fucking mouth and start indicting people. How about that? How about that, Tom? How about you light some fires, Tom? This is ridiculous, though. I mean, in certain counties, he might have been You're telling me the other person's already taken a plea? Why the fuck hasn't this one been dealt with? So many questions. Also, I found the restaurant. It's called Stir It Up. So I'm gonna look that recipe up later, or the menu item, so that I can remember what it was made with. And seriously, I'm not fucking playing today, Tom. Like, it's not impressive to me for you to be like, but we have a whole year, or we have 2 years to indict people. Yeah, you do. Whatever the amount of time that you have is great. And the fact that you aced grade 3 fractions is so awesome. I'm proud of you. 1/10, 1/12, all the fucking shit. Guess what? Be better. Do better.
Been barely more than 1/4 of the amount of time the state has to indict a person who has a bond but is still in custody because they have not made their bond before any legal prejudice attaches, or before a defendant who has a bond but has not been able to make it is actually entitled to any reconsideration of the bond. Judge, there is no reason to reconsider this bond at this point. There is no legal prejudice. There's no possibility of presumption of legal prejudice. And this is not a significant amount of time as far as the amount of time that the court or that the state has to indict a case once a defendant has a bond, which this defendant has. Although this bond, I do see that this bond was reduced. It hadn't been that long. Actually, the $75,000 bond was infinitely more appropriate than this bond that's been cut in essentially in half. Certainly what the defense is requesting, essentially a 90% reduction in bond, is grossly inappropriate in this case. The state would request that the court reinstate the $75,000 bond. We can go forward from there. Nothing
All
further.
right. No
And
drugs
just to
unless,
clarify, Your Honor, I wasn't saying, this was a prejudicial amount of time that he has significantly been in custody. I'm just saying that on a human level, any amount of time in custody is horrible. But then especially when someone is not convicted of a crime and just being in those conditions, it's a significant amount of time. I think even a day is a significant amount of time in custody. And, it just, especially considering the fact that someone has already been convicted in this case and took responsibility, and the fact that, with these charges and these amounts, I've not ever seen bond this high in the, year that I've been in this jurisdiction. So thank you.
all right. No drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no replicas of weapons. Stay away from 215 Forsyth Street Southwest. You'll have a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. The only reason you leave your house, court, medical, lawyer, employment. And don't grab on or watch anybody else's bags, kind of like the airport. Right, so I'll do 3,000, 8,000, UJR jail, 8,000, 3,000, and 8,000. 3, 8, UJR jail, 8, 3, and 8. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's see.
No, we got to do the math on that. What was it? 8, 8, 3, UJR, 8, 3, and 8. So that's like 36 plus, what was it total? Anyways, we're not doing any more tonight, guys, or today, guys, because members only starts in 15 minutes. I want you to know I've actually dug deep. We're going to be reviewing the annual report of a court, including how much money they made, how much their judges were paid, how many people were incarcerated, and many, many more boring administrative things that some people find boring, but I find very interesting. And this is a court that we watch. So anyways, let's just listen again. I would like to get this number right.
25 Forsyth Street Southwest. You'll have a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. The only reason you leave your house, court, medical, lawyer, employment. And don't grab on or watch anybody else's bags, kind of like the airport. All right, so I'll do 3,000, 8,000, UJR jail, 8,000, 3,000, and 8,000. 3, 8, UJR jail, 8, 3, and 8. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's see.
Three 8s and 3 3s, right? 3 8s and 3 3s and a UJR. 3 8s, 3 3s. So that is 3 8s and a 9. So 35? Is that 35? 3 8s and a 3 3s, yeah. So 8, 16, 24, 35. No, 37? I don't know. When I worked at the bank, the most beautiful thing about working at the bank, I'll tell you, when I first started there and my math teacher came into the bank and she had failed me in math, and I said, she was like, I did her transaction, so I saw in her bank account, which is actually like pretty private. And oops, it's 33, by the way. Is it? Yeah, it's 33. Anyways, I just did that math on a calculator, and I explained to the teacher, she was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I work here. And she was like, well, but you're failing math. And I was like, yeah, but they like it when I use a calculator here. In fact, they want me to. And I worked there when I was 15, which is young, but I was really good at being a bank teller, and I was absolute shit in math class. But when you give me real world application, you make shit work, you know? Anyways, also I used to treat working at the bank like a video game every day. Because they kept track of how many transactions you would do in a day, and so I would try and do the most, which means like see the most customers, aka do the most work. But that's how my ADHD brain works. So I'd be like running through the customers trying to get my numbers up, and it's like you're not allowed to cheat. But anyways, regardless. And then sometimes you get somebody that's old and wants to talk a long time, or somebody that's like doing a bunch of shit that doesn't actually give you transaction numbers. That would bother me. Anyways, so members only coming up. We're going to go through those administrative reports. I know it might be a little boring for some, but I think we will be intrigued. I hope that you had a wonderful Sunday with me. I had a great time. What a great day. Tom, fuck you. That's how I feel today, allegedly. Allegedly, that's how I feel. But not the same about you guys. I feel totally different about you. In fact, I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'll see you in the next video in like 15 minutes. Bye. Fuck you, Tom.
Ways down and ready to ride.